Okay, do you have this experience like you are going about your day and you're fine, but all of a sudden you get worked up, you get irritated, or you get angry? All right, I wasn't angry today, but I was having a good day studying, I was grinding, and all of a sudden one thing happened and then I got really worked up. And I thought maybe somebody out there, maybe you can help me to guide me in that area. So today's verse that I want to read is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who captures a city. So basically it's saying that if you can control your anger, or if you could control your worked up feeling, that means you are stronger than a person who could capture a city. I'm not a soldier, so I don't know what it takes to capture a city, but I'm assuming that you do need a lot of manpower and leadership and influence, whatnot. I'm sure you have to have those things in order to lead a group of army to capture a city, unless you're like a superpower person. Right before going out, I received an email, and the email content was not that bad, but okay, let me tell you a story so that you kind of get the context. So I emailed this person expecting a feedback within a day or two. I mean, sometimes you're busy, right? When I receive an email, I don't reply back sometimes right away, even text. But I do know that it's an etiquette to reply as soon as you can, right? So I was waiting for this email from this person. And before going out to pick up my daughter, I received this email, but not from that person, but the person who's related to that person. So here's the thing. It wasn't personal, so it's fine, right? But I was hoping that I could get a reply from this person. So I got worked up. Okay. Nowadays, I'm better at kind of like checking like my emotions and my body language when I get worked up. So I realized I was getting kind of annoyed, thinking like, how long does it take to email someone, like saying that, oh, I received your email and I will reply back to you with such and such. You could say that, right? Although I have no personal relationship with that person, I had this expectation of kind of like a personal common etiquette. I know this line is pretty fragile because everybody's personal etiquette is different. I do know that. I realize common sense is all different for everyone, so we cannot say that's common sense because culturally or even personal background, common sense can be different. I learned it hard way. But in this case, although I don't know this person, felt very dismissive, and I felt this person kind of ignored me, and that made me feel a little bit upset. I wanted to email back right away with my worked up emotion. You might be someone who is very raw, so you have no problem expressing your anger right away. You might be that type, but for me, I'm more subtle, and I think it's more evil in some ways because you look innocent, but I know and God knows what's in my heart. And I realized this afternoon I was not happy and I was mad. So I wanted to reply the email with that upsetness. And as I was waiting in the car on the parking lot, I just felt God gently tapping my shoulder and say, hello, hi, Julie. And I know his voice. And right before that, I called my sister because I got so worked up. I was going to pick up my daughter and I got worked up and I said, hey sis, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you about this. And I shared what was happening and my view and all that. And she calmed me down. But what I realized was how easy I can let small things really come to my heart and make me upset. I don't know. What do you do? When you get worked up and then when you get mad, do you blurt it out? Or what do you do to make that better? I used to stuff it in and just move on. But nowadays I'm more aware. So I told God, I'm actually upset because she did not reply to me in a way that I expected her to. So kind of made me realize what's in my heart as I was reading this verse. Sometimes I don't want to read the Bible because it hurts. It's like surgery. So the chapter 16, the person who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. Someone who can control the anger and bring it down is really mighty. I truly respect people who can do that. I didn't meet many, including myself. I do have meltdowns and I get worked up. We don't have to be perfect, but I think we can get better. We can notice that we're worked up or upset or offended, and before we kind of brush it off, we can admit with our words that I am offended, I am upset. So I was talking to God in the car. I said, God, you know what? I am upset. And I said, I'm sorry. If you don't fill my heart right now, I know I'm just going to go to spiral and use my precious energy getting angry. So I wanted to encourage you, if you are in the similar situation as me, it is okay to get worked up at the moment, but we have to practice to be slow to anger. I think I get angry all of a sudden because I forget that God is right next to me. Yep. Sometimes it is good to know that God is right next to you. Actually, it's good to know that God is next to you all the time. Whether you're fearful, you're afraid, whether you're worried, or like me today, whether you're upset. And I asked God, what am I looking for, God, with this email or what? And I realized there was certain expectations. I want to solve the problem. I want to see the result right away, as always. I really felt that God was gently reminding me I really can't do it with my own power. Being slow to anger or catching myself being upset only comes from God. Because I learned that Jesus is Prince of Peace. So when we say, I want peace in my life, we think kind of an abstract, feeling good and safe. That can be true too, but actually peace is Jesus himself. So when we invite peace, we're actually inviting Jesus. So I am inviting Jesus into my room right now. I know my background is really messy. That's my study table. Excuse my mess. I mean, if I were to show you around in this bedroom, you will be shocked. So trust me, you are seeing the better view. But I just wanted to encourage you, if you had some upset moments today or frustrating moments, you're not alone, and I'm cheering you as I am going through this process myself. Jesus calms my heart. If you have some advice for me, you can share it in the comments. I would love to hear that. How you deal with it when you get worked up, whether it's a small stuff or big stuff. How do you handle it with God? Maybe I could learn some tips. I hope that you're going to have a great day, and I'll see you again. Bye.